Good evening, everyone. Greetings. How are you doing? Welcome to the Big Sky with your host Isaac Yami, and it's been a while since we've been here, but it's good to be back again. But we're back with the season finale for season three. We had an amazing season, so greetings to everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good so ever, because we believe we're international, so many people might probably watching us at different time zones, So we believe that. So thank you so much for joining this stream. If you're joining now or you're gonna watch later, that's still great. So if you're brand new here, it means you just bumped into us somehow or someone shared a link, which is great. So please do like, subscribe, and do everything cool. And we are proudly a show brought to you by Flight Wings Aviation, which is an educational consultancy which deals with everything aviation. And we go by the mantra equip, inspire, and equip. So today, Big Sky, the one that you're watching right now, is basically a show where we get to explore the unlimited possibilities of aviation. And most times I have brilliant guests on the show. As you can see on my, is it your, it's my right, it could be your left, and so forth, whatever, however you're watching me right now. And without further ado, I will introduce my guest, Madam Pilot Precious Sibalo. How are you doing, ma'am?
Hi, Isaac.
This one has been a long one coming, So I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited as well. I'm so pumped up, honestly. But you kept me waiting. I forgive you.
Sure thing, sure thing. I mean, you can't rush greatness, so you have to prepare, and so forth and so forth. So yeah, we can start by breaking the ice a little bit. Basically, who you are, and you saying greetings to the viewers who are joining us now, and probably going to join us in the future. There we
Okay.
go.
Hi, guys. Greetings and salutations. Thank you so much for having me, Isaac, once more. Um, I'm Precious Sibalo, known as Pilot Precious. I'm a certified commercial pilot, a philanthropist, a motivational speaker, and a mentor to aspiring aviators. My aim is to aid marginalized children with equipment, material, and guide them and prepare them for a better future without gender discrimination. So, yeah, this is Precious.
Hi, nice, short, and concise.
Thank you.
So, Precious Sibalo,
Yeah.
madam.
Yeah.
Um, we're gonna start where it started off. Like, where did it start? Like, give us a brief background in terms of your education, typically. Like, what happened from a tender age to where you are in terms of education. Fill us in on your accolades in terms of your schooling.
Well, mine is very simple. I was raised by my grandparents in Plumtree, Zimbabwe. It's a rural area. And I grew up, of course, with my grandma, and I would walk to school, a primary school there in Plumtree. I went grade 1 to 3 and transferred to Blawayo and then transferred to Mchabezi High School where I did my secondary school and actually did well, I must say. Um, so there's nothing major, but of course, a lot of things happened, a lot of challenges along the way. I wasn't able to proceed to university because I became a mother at 17 and lost my mom at 18. So a lot of challenges came along the way, but I never gave up. Hence, I'm here right now as a commercial pilot.
Wow, that's a very lot of
Yeah,
stuff
so
happening to you at the same time.
I grew up, my grandfather was a teacher. He used to encourage me to read. I grew up reading the Reader's Digest, and I was
Ah,
able to dream through that book. That's how actually my mind was strengthened and I was inspired. Yeah.
no, incredible. So where did the aviation idea come from? What did you study literally like? What kind of subjects did you study?
Okay. I did geography, integrated science, I did biology, I did accounting, history, and I did very well in those subjects. That is why I was able to adjust into the flight school, the training, the tests, and everything, because you must have basic understanding of maths, basic understanding of English and science. So yeah, I was able to adjust.
Huh. So
Yeah.
you'd love to call yourself someone who was book smart and was brilliant in school, right?
Yeah,
So
I would like to say that. I would like to say that. But I
yeah.
believe that success is small steps repeated until they become a habit. Honestly, once you put in the time, the effort, the hard work, you surely will be able to master a lot of things.
Huh, incredible, incredible. I'm gonna take you a little bit back to the beginning of your journey, probably.
Mm.
Something to do with when I was doing my research about you, which I do about every guest. There is something in your bio that takes us to when you were a model and you were a waitress, and then aviation. Can we talk about what happened between you being a waitress and a model, and then moving on to aviation, and how did that go about?
Okay, so like I said, being raised by my grandparents, they paid for a school trip. So when I was in primary school in Blawaye, so my dream of becoming a pilot stems from a primary school trip to Joshua Mkabugo International Airport, which was formerly known as Blawayo Airport. We went there. I saw pilots. I couldn't see female pilots, so we watched the aircraft landing and taking off. By then, I think it was like one aircraft per day. It wasn't busy at all. So when we went back to class, I asked my teacher if it was possible to become a female pilot. She said, "Yeah, you can." And I wanted to become a female pilot, and challenge the status quo. I wanted to become a pilot against all odds. So that's how I wanted to become a pilot. But then, because of the challenges, being a mother, having to relocate to South Africa to make ends meet, I, of course, started off in South Africa as a waitress. And then, as I was taking care of the customers, they suggested I try modeling because I'm tall and, of course, beautiful.
Okay, you're tall. It's really hard to see from the pictures. I'm like, okay.
So yeah, I pursued those two, part-time modeling and full-time waitering. So that's how it all started.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How was that though? How was that though? How was that though?
It was really challenging, but to be honest, it was preparing me for this stage in life. Because I remember one of the restaurants, you're supposed to take meal preferences by head, like you don't need to write down, and that really helped me become very sharp and focused. So yeah,
Interesting.
that's
I had to pull the picture. I think this is the
oh.
picture where you were the waitress and that time, right?
Yes, I remember this day clearly because a helicopter company came to the shopping center where I was working, and they were charging about 300 rands for a scenery flight around the town. And I paid for it. I took every cent I had made on that day and, went for that flight, and my dream was revived. I fell in love with the beauty of the African skies. Up there, I felt liberated. Of course, with the challenges that I had, I'd given up a bit, about becoming a pilot, but this changed. That day, I was motivated to dream again.
Ah, nice, nice, nice. Interesting picture. I think I get how. I'm not sure if you're so tall here or the other person is short, but I mean, okay,
I'm
we'll go
tall,
with
like
it.
I said earlier. Hence, I had to start modeling. Yes.
Huh. Nice. So, a little briefly about the journey between you modeling and also being a waiter. How was it though? I mean, I'm not really
It,
talking about it deep inside,
yeah.
but what I want to catch is, you know how we do things that we don't necessarily like. but we need to
Yes.
do it necessary so that we can
Yes.
like accomplish the bigger dreams that we have. So, like
Yes.
briefly, just touch on it. Like, how was the experience, and how did you keep yourself going, knowing that this is not the final destination, and then moving on to harnessing that strength
Yeah.
enough to push for your actual goal.
Of
Take us a
course,
little briefly about that.
it was very challenging. I mean, being a waiter is challenging. Sometimes you come in at 8 and you have a double shift. You finish work maybe at 12. Sometimes you have a single shift. So imagine carrying plates, cleaning tables, serving people, customer service, having to smile for people, and then boom, later on at around 8 p.m., you have to go for your modeling gig or whatever. So it was quite challenging. I had to really work extra hard. And being in a foreign country, having to adjust, especially the fact that I had left my daughter back in Zim. It was really tough, especially as a mother. You don't want to go through that. So this was actually one of the toughest times of my life. I had to really work extra hard. So it was challenging, I must say, but it molded me into who I am today. So I don't despise the journey, I don't despise the process.
Oh, incredible, incredible. So
So
if I'm
yeah,
getting,
I then, like, after serving those customers, I was then encouraged to try something abroad. So I started to save up some money to pay an agency so I can relocate to Dubai. So I worked hard. That was in 2010. So it was the World Cup in South Africa. So we kind of made money as well.
oh,
Sorry
incredible.
about that. Yeah.
Oh, wow, you definitely ahead of your time. I mean, I believe people who made so many money. I remember that time. I mean,
Yes,
huh? Wow, I mean, you just went there, then you just say like, let me just go there. Wow, that's
exactly.
some good spirit you have over there. Like,
Yeah, the customers would give you good tips. They were coming from Brazil, they were coming from America. So that was actually the best time to make money as a waitress.
well, I like how you used your that period, like you're working there and then you realize that there could be some big shot in Dubai, and you know how you are very on the ground trying to make ends meet to that point. I really admire that.
Thank you
I
so
really
much.
admire that as well. So I mean, what attracted you to aviation? I can believe the absence of male figures at that particular point. I
Yeah.
do get that point. So how how has been your journey for aviation so far? And in your bio as well, it talks about you, cabin crew and everything. Take us through that journey on how you then enter the industry itself, apart from you being a waitress, and how did you make that transition? Give us the juicy, the nitty gritties. Take your time, explain to us. You're the last guest on this season, so we
Wow.
saved the best
Save
for
the
last. I
best for
mean,
the last.
yeah. I mean, no offense to the ones that came before, but I mean, allow me to say we saved the best for last. So take us through slowly by slowly how then you transition from doing whatever you were doing and then moving on to exactly what you're doing now.
So after saving enough money, I paid the agents and I went to Dubai. I flew Qatar Airways to Dubai. I was inspired by the cabin crew. The ladies were looking pretty with their makeup, and they were actually very vigilant, very focused, and, 5-star service, the hospitality, you name it. And I was inspired, honestly. Yeah, so this was actually in Qatar, but just traveled Qatar Airways. Imagine those ladies serving you. Their customer service is amazing. So I arrived in Dubai. I only worked there as a waitress for 3 months, and some of my friends encouraged me to join them so we can go to the open day for Qatar Airways. Millions of people came for the open day in a hotel in Dubai. I was selected among my 6 friends, and within 4 months, I had to relocate to Qatar, where I started as a cabin crew. As you guys can see, that was back in 2012. So that was in 2012, yeah. And I worked for 5 years with excellence in Qatar Airways and started to raise money as well so that I can pursue my dream of becoming a pilot. I worked hard, didn't report sick, 5 years of not reporting sick or even making any excuses. And I thank God for my family and my friends because they supported me. It's very important to have people around you who support you and who believe in you. And I thank God for that. So I stayed focused and saved money. And when the time was right, after 5 years, I then decided to start my pilot training in South Africa.
Wow. Yeah, this is incredible. I like how, I mean, maybe it's in hindsight how things were falling into place. But I want you to explain it from a very realistic point of view. Like what I mean is like, people will be like, oh, okay, and then it moves. So it sounds very smooth when it moves. Like what were the challenges that you're going through in terms of all of these things? Like probably the transition, was it smooth? Or maybe, I mean, maybe it was smooth. But tell us, how was the challenge of you when you were in Dubai? How did that transition go and so forth?
It wasn't smooth because when you relocate to another country, your family kind of has high expectations, and they expect you to be, of course, sending money every month. But when you go there, they deduct your ticket fare, they deduct your uniform costs and stuff like that. So it's not easy. So I had to go through that. I was actually like getting better money from being a waitress in South Africa for the first few months. In Dubai was really challenging, but I adjusted. So another challenge is that when I went to the interview, of course, millions of people were there. So you kind of look at yourself and you wonder, am I good enough? Am I gonna make it? So you start doubting yourself. But I thank God because I was able to make it in the interviews. Another challenge is that when I was selected to come for the interview the next day, I had actually taken a bus. Just I needed a breather. While I was there, I got a call that I made it for the Qatar Airways second interview. And they had specified what they want from me. They wanted me to wear a white shirt, black skirt, this, that, and I didn't have any of those things. And it was like 2 hours to closing time. The shops were closing, and I was already halfway to the shopping mall. I had something equivalent to, let's say, 100 rands. So I went to one of the cheapest clothes shop and bought the skirt, the shirt. Now I was short by about 10 rands to buy shoes. So I had to approach people and ask for money for shoes. Some said, no, we don't have. Some said they didn't even respond. So I learned to be a beggar for like a few hours. I was humbled. So it was really, really tough for me to approach people and ask for money, but I had to explain to them I have an interview coming up. And then one gentleman who was a security guard from Kenya actually gave me money. And when I said, okay, I'm going to come tomorrow to give you back the money, he said, no, it's okay. I wish you the best. And I'm so grateful for that moment because it makes me give as well, give,
Oh,
without
do you
even
still remember
thinking.
him?
Unfortunately, not. Unfortunately, not. But I pray for him every day. He changed my life because if I had gone to the interview without whatever they had specified, I wouldn't have made it. So he changed my life. Yeah. So
Wow,
I did have challenges. Yes.
wow, that's a very interesting story. I mean, probably the reason why I wanted us to talk about this when I say in a realistic way, because sometimes we then think, I mean, but I'm not precious, Sibala. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
you made it as human as possible. I wasn't thinking you were going to tell us this story, but this is a very interesting one. I mean, in hindsight,
And
everything sounds
and you
very.
know when I got to the aircraft for the first time, I didn't know you're supposed to look at your boarding pass. It was years ago. Like, of course, there was no internet that much. You needed to go to the internet cafe to find out a lot of things. So I went and asked one lady, "Can I sit next to you?" She said, "No, darling, you have to look at the boarding pass and check your seat number." So all these things, and going to the washroom, not knowing where to press to flush the toilet, and all these things helped me, because when I became cabin crew for Qatar Airways, I understood how people felt. I understood when they didn't know where the washroom was, when they were lost, when they didn't know where their luggage was. So it made me a very excellent cabin crew.
Wow, it's like it's interesting how I mean the humbling moments then refined you as well to make you the best you could be.
Yeah.
So what was the experience? I mean, the experience then of you moving from cabin crew to you being a pilot now. Take us through that. Take us
Well,
through that.
I used to see pilots sitting at the flight deck. I mean, I was now in business class when I left Qatar. It was time for me to become a cabin senior. It was time for me to get promoted into becoming a senior, a supervisor. But I had to start the journey of flight school, going to the flight school and stuff like that. So it was tough, because I used to think that pilots are just there sitting, doing nothing, drinking coffee. But when I went to the flight school, oh my God, the exams, 75% mark. I mean, pass rate. I mean, not pass rate, pass mark, according to the CAA, the South African CAA. So all that studying for the exams was really, really tricky. The campus test when we went in, the flight test, evaluations, ground evaluations, drills. It was really hectic, to be honest. But I had to find myself a mentor. I had to watch YouTube videos from other aviators. I had to seek help. It's very important. You get to know yourself more there, because the struggles are real. There are a lot of people who are going to tell you flying is for men, not for girls. So you have to deal with naysayers, and it's important to know who you are. Self-awareness is vital, knowing your strengths and shortcomings in order to improve and develop yourself. So it was really challenging, I must say.
Wow, interesting. I think we're also gonna dive a little bit in the lines of how it felt to be a woman in the aviation industry as well. And briefly more on the challenges and then of course the wins on how you did rise above all of those things.
Okay. Well, the wins, of course, it's amazing. Being a female pilot, you become a role model to aspiring pilots, you become a mentor, and there is power in lifting others as you rise. It is rewarding, I must say, when you look back and you assist the people who wake up and say, "Pilot pressures, water flaps." I wake up to that, and it keeps me on my toes and keeps me knowledgeable. And it was very fulfilling. This was when I was graduating as a
Mm.
certified commercial pilot. So those are the wins. Yeah, because with knowledge comes confidence. So you have to constantly study and make sure you're knowledgeable. Yeah, this was
Wow,
one of the best days, and the solo as well.
huh. Nice, nice, nice. I like the is that the
Oh, the graduation
yeah, it looks
ceremony.
really dope.
Yes,
It really looks dope. I mean, you're even
yes.
looking fashionable as well. I mean, with the
I
pants
told
up,
you. I told you.
you're looking fashionable, you know. Like
The modeling in me came out on this day.
yeah, you're
It
looking
wasn't.
fashionable as well. I'm just like, oh, okay. Interesting, interesting.
the model
Yeah, your love for
trademark.
fashion. I mean, I was looking through your Instagram, and then I was like, okay, it's funny enough. The last three pilots I've interviewed, they have this fashion sense. I mean, like I've been saying, they've been having this fashion sense. I'm like, okay. I had to ask my team,
Thank
how are you getting all of these pilots who have this fashion sense? Like you're pimping out the pilot career to make it so cool. I like that. I like that. I like that. It's really nice. It's
thank
really
you.
really
Thank you
nice.
so much.
So
Yeah.
as
So
a
the
as
challenges we spoke the wins. Okay, you go.
yeah, go ahead. The
Oh,
challenges that
okay.
you face.
Okay, I think, like I said, as women, we are told oftentimes that driving is for men, flying is for men, and you tend to deal with I'm not good enough, imposter syndrome, feeling that you constantly have to prove yourself, work hard, and still feel like you're not good enough. So, I want to encourage someone out there to just have confidence in yourself. Don't listen to naysayers. Be you. Find a mentor and just pursue your dreams. Your dreams are valid because our gender doesn't limit our abilities. We are at liberty to excel.
Huh, nice, nice. This also brings me to um you flying. I mean, you spoke about your solo flight being one of the most pivotal moments of your life. There's you and your daughter. So let's talk
Yeah.
about your daughter and aviation. What's that all about? I mean,
She visited me last year here in South Africa, and I took her for a flight, just the two of us. This was in a Cessna 172. Yeah, I took her for a navigation flight around the area, and she fell in love with aviation. She was just fascinated by the ATC, the communication between us pilots
how
and
old
the
is she?
ATC. She's 17. She just turned 18, actually. She's 18.
Ah, nice,
I
nice.
had her when I was 17. So I was a
17 and just
teen
had you.
mom. Yes, yes,
Ah, so
yes.
is she gonna follow in your footsteps?
We're still checking.
But you're
She's
not gonna
not
push her,
sure,
right?
but yeah, yes, she's already learning the aviation phonetic alphabet. She's learning a lot of stuff. Sometimes we do fly in a simulator. So yeah, she's really interested. Yeah.
Huh, nice, nice, nice. That's really nice. Mom and daughter moment. I saw that and I'm like, oh,
Yes,
okay, this is
yes.
interesting. I think I interviewed someone called who I mean someone from South Africa,
Yeah.
and she's 17 right now, and she's
Okay.
really doing well. I mean, she's studying along those lines, and I'm like, I like it when I see young individuals
I
um
watched it. Yeah,
willing
I
to,
saw her.
yeah.
Yes.
And it's funny, it's I don't know, it's this youngness and flying, like I think there was this misconception where you have to be this old person to fly, but I noticed now doing this show for 3 seasons that young people are actually doing a lot in terms of
Yeah.
aviation, and I'm
Yes.
proud of that. I'm proud of that. I'm
Yeah,
proud of
because they can get their license at 17. Some say it's 18, so
Yeah,
it depends on the law of the country.
yeah, that's really nice. We're
Yes.
gonna we're gonna we're gonna take a little bit of detour, and we're gonna talk about your philanthropist side,
Okay.
basically. And because you said you're a motivational speaker, you're a philanthropist. Let's talk about you. What do you like doing, like on your spare time, basically? And then you probably move on into your philanthropy side. Apart from aviation, what do you like doing on the
I'm an
side?
adrenaline junkie. I'm an adrenaline junkie. So you would find me going zip lining. I recently came from bungee jumping. So those are the things I do on my spare time. I go to the gym, I work out, go to I travel a lot actually. I love traveling.
Of course, I mean
Yes.
you're a pilot. I mean,
Apart from that, I like the soft life.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
But which
So,
as a commercial pilot, which airlines have you flown and
Oh, at the moment, I finished my training back in 2020. And of course, because of COVID, the market is flooded. So we decided, okay, what is plan B? Most of us are now doing the certified flight instructor rating, the course. So that's what I'm currently doing. So looking forward to gaining experience, gaining knowledge, and then moving on to airlines.
Oh, that's really nice. How's that journey as well? Does it have its challenges and its wins? Like, what is it all about? Like,
Yeah,
what?
of course, you must have specific flying hours for you to be able to make it to airlines or to a certain charter company. So it depends on their specification, but it's not an easy journey, especially after training. You don't just get a job straight away. So, yeah, you have to either go a different route by being a flight instructor or go bush flying. There are options out there. Yeah.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
So, going back to your philanthropy side,
Yes.
yes. So, tell us about that journey and
Okay.
what are you on about in terms of you
Okay.
giving back? And
Mhm.
I believe that for me, the security guard from Kenya is still like a thing that's hanging on me. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, I
As
mean, I
well.
think that should be the start of something. That should have been the start of you doing something. So
Um,
yes, let's start from here. The
Actually,
picture that I just pulled up.
my grandmother was a very generous lady. We lost her last year,
Oh,
unfortunately.
sorry for that.
But I grew up in a home where there were a lot of visitors all the time, and I learned to share from a tender age. She actually molded me into this person who gives, because charity begins at home, as they say. So when I joined as a cabin crew, I joined a group called Traveling with a Purpose. So we would explore, of course, different cities when we land. But in some cities, we'll visit orphanages, homes. This was in Namibia. We visited the school for the visually impaired. I fell in love with this beautiful girl over here. We'll bring some sweets, sunscreen, and clothes. So it all started from home and then grew. When I went to South Africa, I started my training and I would drive past a certain area near the school where a lot of underprivileged people stayed. During COVID, they were affected. A lot of them lost their jobs. And one day, when I was passing on my way to school, a lady that I knew had fainted. So when we went on lockdown, an idea came to me in the middle of the night, and I wanted to be an answer to someone's prayer. I decided to trade my birthday gifts for COVID-19 food hampers. And
Is this the picture that I've
luckily,
just pulled up?
yeah, these are the hampers, yes, the buckets. So we were able to feed over 100 families, and I thank God for my friends from all across the
I,
world.
I was I was about to say you really do receive a lot of gifts on your birthday. I'm like, okay, okay. I'm like, you
Yes.
do receive a lot of gifts on your birthday. I'm like, my birthday's not like this.
Yeah, so oftentimes I would receive maybe makeup, handbags. I have a circle of friends. We exchange gifts. I say that here, guys, please buy me Pick and Pay food hampers. If you were planning on spending 1,000 on me, please buy 5 buckets instead, like that. So the initiative went on. A lot of people were encouraged. As I am speaking, other people are doing the same as well. They are trading their birthday gifts for them to spread the spirit of love, the spirit of Ubuntu, and the spirit of kindness. So this was what happened back in 2020. And then for the 2021 birthday, I managed to raise school shoes, sanitary pads, and stationery for school kids. I'm yet to go there. I'll be back after that initiative to give you guys an update. Um, I'll be reaching out to a rural school close to my heart back in Zimbabwe, because a lot of kids go to school barefoot. um, in cold winter mornings, hot summer days, until their heels crack and bleed. And that hurts. I mean, I can't even speak about it. Some girls, when it's that time of the month, they don't attend school because they don't have sanitary pads. Some use unconventional methods like mattresses, t-shirts, and that affects their health later on in life. So we want to be able to provide and come with innovative ways for them to even make sanitary pads for themselves, reusable and stuff like that. We are working on it. And also some stationery so that we give them tools to better their future. Encourage them to engage in STEM, especially girls. Encourage girls to take part in leadership positions because they are able. All these kids, we want to just encourage them, tell them that their dreams are valid. If I made it, they surely can. Their geographic location should not hinder them from pursuing their dreams. We want them to face life with the giant killer mentality and know that they are at liberty to excel.
Oh, incredible, incredible, incredible. Um, I just remember that we are supposed to do this interview, I think 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
but you mentioned something about a conference that you attended. Let's talk about the conference, and
Okay.
and what happened at the conference, because you clearly said, I believe if we have it after the conference, I would have incredible things to say and incredible things to share. So let's talk about the conference. What happened in the conference? What conference was it? And yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay, I was invited to be a speaker in Kigali, Rwanda, at the African
Oof.
Women's
Okay,
Summit.
let's pause. Let's pause. Let's pause. Kigali, Rwanda. Rwanda is my favorite country at this very point. No offense to anyone from any country, but I love what's happening there. And one of these days, I'm planning somehow to go there, and I like Rwanda, so I'm excited when someone talks about Rwanda. And yeah, so yeah,
It's,
talk about
it's
it. What happened in
beautiful.
Kigali?
It's beautiful, actually. So I was a speaker. We were examining roles women play as agents of peace and sustainable development. It was very informative. I learned a lot. I pocketed a lot of goodies, a lot of ideas from many mentors. We had diverse speakers from all across Africa. And of course, I learned a lot. So I want you to stay tuned because I said I'm gonna be back. And you asked me, what's the plan regarding the works that I do? What's the next step about giving? So stay tuned because I believe charity isn't only about giving donations or money. It's also about rendering your services. Anyone can do it. I want to challenge someone back there at home. Dedicate your birthday for a cause and reach out to me on social media. Speak to me. What have you done? A lot of people are doing that. You don't have to have too much to be able to give. You can give the little that you have. I believe some people, when they open their wardrobe, there are things you haven't worn for years, and give it to someone. Bless someone. Yeah, so I want to encourage people to do that. So there's a lot that I'm gonna do and I'm planning to do, but I believe in more action and less talk. So stay tuned.
Ah, incredible, incredible. So as we're drawing closer to the end, which is sad, but it has to happen. Let's talk about what keeps you motivated, and just generally in this career of yours. And yeah, what keeps you motivated?
Things like this, going live and speaking about my journey, touching lives, having mentees, giving back to the community, going for my adventure plans like traveling, and having a vision board. My vision board keeps me motivated. So, a vision board where I write all my goals, my visions, my plans for the future, and visualize if it's something that I want, how do I want it, and how am I going to get it, and what is it that I want exactly. If it's about having a picture of it, I do that. So I have a vision board. It keeps me motivated, and I encourage people to do the same. And prayer. of course, keeps me motivated. I read my daily devotion. I go to church, and my friends as well, support from my friends and my family, my daughter, everybody keeps me motivated. And traveling, good food, music, all these things. I am an extroverted introvert. So, yeah, that's what I love to do. Keeps me motivated.
Wow, that's a very that's so much. I mean, I can believe you won't run out of things that motivate you. If this one is running dry, you move on to the next one. I mean, there's
Yeah,
so much stuff
exactly.
filled, jam packed, so forth and so forth. So yeah, we believe as the Big Sky Show, courtesy of the flight Wings Aviation. One thing that we really want to like achieve in terms of what we do is inspire the next generation of aviators, especially working with the grassroots. We do workshops. We talk to young individuals and we mentor them. We have online courses and so forth. And our reach is quite young, the young
Mhm.
individuals. So what kind of words of encouragement will you give? Pretty much, I like saying maybe a 6 year old probably is watching this, maybe accidentally somehow because they should be sleeping by now. But then let's say they accidentally bump into this, what kind of advice would you give a 6 year old in terms of aviation and so forth? Shoot,
Well,
we're a motivational speaker, so this one is different. And drum roll a little bit because this is going to be the last segment of season 3. So I'm going to give you 1 minute. I mean, everyone else I was giving them 30 seconds, but I'm going to give you 1 minute solid. Give us a motivational speech on how to inspire
yay!
young individuals. But it's 6 year old, so I mean, yeah. So shoot.
I believe that they are already learning the butterfly cycle, like the cycle of a butterfly, how a butterfly starts off as a tiny caterpillar and then becomes a butterfly. So today a caterpillar, tomorrow a butterfly. But it's called the butterfly metamorphosis, of course. And the transformation process is not easy. A caterpillar goes through struggles and challenges, different weather conditions. Some give up along the way. But there's this stage where it's isolated in a cocoon and then it has to squeeze its way out of that cocoon. And that process is very vital because it strengthens its wings, its precious wings. And boom, it flies, it learns to fly. So, what I want to say to that 6 year old is that refuse to remain a caterpillar. Refuse to remain a caterpillar. Become a butterfly and fly high. Your dreams are valid. Don't give up on your dreams. Yeah.
Thank you, thank
Bravo.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That was Pilot Precious taking us away with a speech at the very end. At this very point, I want to say thank you for gracing us on the last episode of season 3, The Big Sky. And what I usually do most times, I roll the red carpet to my guests, and I ask them to tell us what's going on with their lives, what they're doing, what they're planning, and where people can follow them and where they can support them. So the red carpet is rolled. It's over to you.
Thank you so much once again. I commend you for what you do. Heads off to you guys. Heads off to Flight Wings. We really appreciate because we believe that there is insufficient information out there regarding aviation, especially to people without access to internet and stuff like that. So we appreciate you guys for what you do and the fact that you're encouraging young girls to engage in STEM. So it's really wonderful. You guys can follow me on my page on Facebook. It's Pilot Precious page, not the account, the page, Pilot Precious page, because the account is full. So I would appreciate you join the page because that's where I post my journey, some videos, so that those who are interested in getting to know a little bit about aviation, because I get a lot of questions. How can I know whether I can be a pilot, whether I'm scared of heights or not? So you can book an intro flight at any school, which is like 30 to 45 minutes. Go up there, experience how it's like being up there. Learn more from my page. Also on Instagram, I am Precious Sibalo. You can put Precious Sibalo and you'll find me. I really appreciate once again the fact that I was here on this platform to inspire people. Thank you so much.
Ha, awesome. Thank you so much, Pilot Precious. It was incredible, and this um gets to the last bit of season three. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much to the family that watched us. Our subscriber base increased as well. There was so much support from people, and I am very excited to come back season four if I'm voted back. I mean, never know, but I had a privilege of meeting interesting people for the past three seasons, and I love to continue doing this as well. So without people support who watch us, who share our videos, who like our pages, this cannot happen. So I want to say thank you so much. Till we meet again, season four, we're coming bigger, better, brighter, all of these things great. You are watching The Big Sky, where we get to explore the unlimited possibilities of aviation. Like I said, it depends where you're gonna watch us from. It's a good evening, it's a good afternoon, it's a good morning. You're gonna watch us later. Thank you so much. And it is bye from the team, Flight Wings Aviation. It is from the host Isaac Yami and our guest Pilot Precious, and it is a bye from all of us. Bye everyone.